The fight against the wild boar menace is a battle of wits and determination, and it's a fight that farmers are ready to take on. In response to this escalating issue, some farmers have turned to hunting as a solution. Hunting and killing boars is one method of controlling the population and protecting crops. On one hand, it's a practice that dates back centuries, and in some cases, it's become a necessary measure to safeguard livelihoods. So let's delve into the rules and regulations governing this practice. Game and wildlife laws are in place to oversee and regulate hunting activities. These laws vary by region, and they're crucial in ensuring ethical hunting practices. They set out when and how wild boars can be hunted, what equipment can be used, and who can do the hunting. For instance, in some areas, hunting is only allowed during specific seasons. The aim is to avoid interfering with the animal's breeding cycle, which could cause even more disruption to the ecosystem. In other places, it's not about when you can hunt, but rather who can do the hunting. Often, only licensed hunters are allowed to hunt wild boars, and obtaining that license requires training and a thorough understanding of local wildlife laws. Now, there are limitations and exceptions to these laws. Sometimes, when wild boar populations spiral out of control and cause significant damage, exceptions are made. In such situations, hunting might be allowed outside of the usual season, or farmers might be granted special permissions to protect their land. However, it's important to remember that hunting is more than just picking up a gun and going after the boars. It requires skill, knowledge, and respect for the animal. Hunters must be able to track the boars, understand their behavior, and make a clean, ethical kill. Moreover, hunting alone isn't enough to fully control the wild boar population. These animals are known for their high reproduction rates, and it's virtually impossible to hunt them faster than they can reproduce. So, while hunting can help, it's not a silver bullet. While hunting may seem like an effective solution, it's not without its challenges and limitations. When hunting isn't enough, farmers have another weapon in their arsenal: traps. Now let's talk about boar traps. These contraptions are an ingenious and humane way to keep boar populations in check. They're designed to capture boars without causing them harm, making them an ethical alternative to hunting. Picture a large, sturdy enclosure, big enough to hold a group of boars. These aren't your average mouse traps, mind you. They're specifically designed with the boar's natural behavior in mind. The trap is baited with something irresistible to the boars, like corn or other foodstuff they love. When a boar enters the trap, it triggers a mechanism that closes the entrance. The boar is then safely contained and can be relocated or dealt with in a way that suits the local wildlife regulations. Now you might be wondering, just how effective are these traps? Well, the answer is quite effective indeed. They can catch multiple boars in a single go, and because they're non-lethal, they can be used again and again. This makes them a cost-effective solution for farmers who are dealing with a persistent boar problem. There are different types of traps available, from simple box traps to more complex corral traps. The choice of trap depends on the specific situation and the preferences of the farmer. One of the key advantages of traps is that they allow for the safe and controlled removal of boars. Unlike hunting, which can sometimes lead to wounded animals escaping and causing more damage, traps ensure that the boars are securely contained. Of course, traps aren't a silver bullet. They require careful placement and regular monitoring, and they're not suitable for all situations. But when used correctly, they can be a powerful tool in the farmer's defense against boars. So, to sum it up, traps are a humane, effective, and often overlooked solution to the boar problem. They provide a way for farmers to protect their crops and livelihoods without resorting to lethal methods. Traps provide a humane and effective method for controlling boar populations and protecting farms. Despite the destruction they cause, boars are not entirely without their uses. This statement might seem a bit paradoxical, but let's delve a bit deeper into the world of boars, shall we? Boars are prolific breeders. A single sow can produce up to 2 litters of piglets a year, each litter containing as many as 12 piglets. This rapid reproduction rate is one of the reasons why boar populations can escalate quickly, posing significant challenges for farmers and landowners. However, boar meat is a valuable resource. Some people avoid boar meat because they fear diseases such as trichinosis or brucellosis, which can be contracted by consuming undercooked infected meat. These concerns are valid, but with proper cooking and preparation, boar meat can be safe and quite delicious. It's a lean and flavorful meat that can be used in a variety of dishes, from sausages to stews. Yet there's a cultural aspect to consider here. In many cultures, there's a tradition of not wasting game kills. This tradition stems from a time when hunting was a primary source of food, and every part of the animal was used, from its meat to its hide. This ethos of respect for the animal and the environment is still prevalent in many hunting communities today. But it's not just about the meat. Boars also offer other resources. Their hides can be used for leather, their bristles for brushes, and their fat for soap or candles. Even their bones can be used in making tools or ornaments. Now, this isn't to say that boars are the answer to all our problems. They still pose a significant threat to farms, damaging crops and causing economic loss. Yet, they also represent a potential resource. A resource that, if managed correctly, could turn a problem into a potential benefit. It's the classic paradox. The thing that causes us trouble also holds potential value. It's a reminder that in every challenge, there might just be an opportunity hiding. So, while boars pose a significant threat to farms, they also represent a potential resource. The damage caused by boars extends far beyond the boundaries of the farm. When a wild boar ravages a field, it's not just the farmer who feels the sting. The repercussions echo throughout our society, impacting even those who have never seen a boar or set foot on a farm. Let's consider for a moment a scenario where a boar has destroyed a field of corn. The farmer now has a reduced yield, which means less corn to sell at the market. This leads to a decrease in supply while demand remains constant. In the world of economics, when supply decreases and demand remains the same, we see prices rise. That means everyone, from the city dweller buying sweet corn for a summer barbecue, to the local baker using cornmeal in their recipes, will be paying more. But it doesn't stop there. The farmer, who has lost a significant portion of their income due to the boar attack, might have to cut back on other expenses. That could mean less money spent in local businesses, causing a ripple effect on the local economy. The impact of boar attacks on farms can also lead to limited stock in stores. If a wild boar has destroyed a crop of strawberries just before the harvest, it's not just the farmer who misses out on the fruits of their labor. It's also the families who were looking forward to savoring those juicy berries, the chefs who had planned to use them in their summer menus, and the jam makers who depended on them for their products. Moreover, if these attacks continue and farmers are unable to protect their crops, it could discourage the next generation from taking up farming, leading to a long-term impact on our food supply. So, you see, the problem of boars is not confined to the countryside. It's not just about the struggle between the farmer and the wild animal. It's a societal issue that affects us all. Whether we live in the heart of the city or the wide-open spaces of the country, we are all connected through the food we eat and the farmers who grow it. The problem of boars is more than just a rural issue. It affects us all. With the boar problem showing no signs of slowing, farmers must look to the future. As we turn our gaze to the horizon, the future of farming is not just about crops and livestock. It's about innovation, technology, and finding new sustainable ways to deal with issues like the wild boar problem. One potential solution lies in the heart of Silicon Valley, where tech companies are developing advanced drone technology. These aren't your everyday hobby drones, but sophisticated machines equipped with thermal imaging and artificial intelligence capabilities. These drones could patrol vast farmlands, identify boar intrusions, and alert farmers in real time, all without the need for human intervention. But what if we go a step further? What if we could use technology to deter boars from entering farmlands in the first place? This is where virtual fencing comes in. By combining GPS technology with animal behavior research, we could create invisible boundaries that keep boars out. The idea may sound like science fiction, but it's already being tested in Australia with cattle, and the results are promising. Yet, the future is not just about technology, it's also about understanding our environment better and finding ways to coexist with nature.